Okay, so you are welcome to my YouTube channel, Spec Deck Constructions. So if you're here for the first time, please do well to like and subscribe to my channel. And today we'll be talking about a very important topic in civil engineering. And what is it? Mixed ratio. Concrete mixed ratio, okay? So mixed ratio, it's all about the right proportion of concrete mix to use in any design you are doing. So depending on your design, depending on your structure, you have different mixed ratios, okay? So if you look at this table I have here, the first mix, and then the second one ratio, and then the third one strength after 28 days, okay? So as for M5, you have M5. There are how many here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've only listed 8 here. And you have M5, M7.5, M10, M15, M20, M25, and M30. M here stands for mix. You can see M, letter M, so it stands for mix. So you have mix 5. Why 5 represents the strength after 28 days, okay? So you have M here, which is mix 5. We give you a strength of 5 Newton per mm square after 28 days. M7.5, mix 7.5 will give you strength of 7.5 Newton per millimeter square after 28 days. And likewise, M10 will give you 10, M15 will give you 15, M20 will give you 20, M25 will give you 25, M30 will give you 30. Okay, now I'm going to show you a very easy method. I'm going to give you a shortcut which you can remember the mix ratio, the ratio of all these mixes, okay, because they have ratios with which you mix them together, okay. What are you mixing? You're mixing cement, you're mixing sand, which is also known as fine aggregate, and you're mixing gravel, which is also known as coarse aggregate. So you're mixing 3 things, okay. You're mixing what? Cement, fine aggregate or sand, and then you're also mixing coarse aggregate, which is your normal granite or gravel, okay. So now we are going straight to the mix proportion. Okay, so now from M5 to M25, from M5, listen very carefully, from M5 to M25, you have a thumb rule, that is a constant mix. Okay, you don't have to design any mix. There's a constant mix, a formula for it, okay, and I'm going to give you that formula. That will be very easy way for you to remember it. Now from M30 downwards, okay, you have to design it. So I'll be giving you the thumb rule for M5 to M25. Yeah, and I'm going to tell you something very important. This M20 is one of the most important mixes when you're constructing residential buildings or structures. Most of the members, like beam, like column, most of them, your slab, you have to go with M20 mix. Very, very important, okay. So take note of it. So from M30 to whatsoever, so you can see it goes on and on. From M30 downwards, you have to design it using the concrete code, okay. So now we have M5. For M5, you have ratio 1 is to 5 is to 10. What does it mean? This 1 here represents cement. This 5 here represents fine aggregate or sand. This 10 here represents coarse aggregate or your gravel or granite. Now you wonder, what is this 1? What is this 5 and 10? Okay, it means one cement bag weighs 50 kg, and in a cement bag you have 2 head pans, okay. So if you're mixing for M5, right, so 1 part of cement 5 parts of sand, 10 parts of gravel. So what does it mean? It means for M5, if you're taking 1 headpan of cement, okay, if you're taking 1 headpan of cement, you have to take 5 headpans of sand, you have to take 10 headpans of coarse aggregate. So if you have 2 headpans of cement in a bag, which means you're going to be having, for M5, you will have 2 times 5, which is 10 headpans of sand, and 2 times 10, which is 20 headpans of coarse aggregate. Okay, that's for M5. So for M7.5, you have 1 is to 4 is to 8. Okay, so for every 1 part of cement, you have 4 parts of sand, 5 parts of gravel, coarse aggregate. Now for M10, you have also 1 is to 3 is to 6. Now for M15, you have 1 is to 2 is to 4. That's for M15. And then you have for M20, you have 1 is to 1.5 is to 3. I'm going to give a formula to get these things, okay? So don't just hold on. I'm coming to that point. So 1 is to 1.5 is to 3. So let me just explain this a bit. What it means is that for every 1 part of cement, you have to use 1.5 parts of sand, and you have to use 3 parts of coarse aggregate. If you're using 1 headpan of cement, if you're mixing with 1 headpan of cement, you have to mix with 1.5 headpan of sand and 3 headpans of gravel, which is coarse aggregate. For M20, I'm stressing it because M20 is very, very important, very, very important mix. You use it for several structures, especially when it comes to residential apartments. Okay, so for M25, you have 1 is to 1 is to 2. That's for M25. And then from M30 downwards, you have its design mix. You have to design it. Okay, so now there's a top secret here. I want to show you. Top secret is going to help you a lot, okay, to get these things up there in your memory. But now if you look at this, you notice that the cement value, the ratio of cement remains constant, is 1 throughout. But for coarse aggregate, for fine aggregate, which is your sand, you notice that from M5 to M15, it reduces by 1. Reducing by 1. So you have 5 here, minus 1, 4, minus 1, 3, minus 1, 2. Okay? Now, while for coarse aggregate, you multiply by 2. You multiply the fine aggregate by 2 to get the coarse aggregate. If you multiply the value of the fine aggregate by 2, of the sand by 2, you're going to get the value for gravel. So, notice it is reducing from 5 to 4. 4 times 2, 8. From 4 to 3. 3 times 2, 6. From 3 to 2. 2 times 2, 4. Okay, that is from M5 to M15. Now, from M20 to M25, it is decreasing by half. Here it is decreasing by 1. That is your fine aggregate decreasing by 1. While here, your fine aggregate is decreasing by half. Okay, so that's why you have, for M20, you have 1.5. You're still going to multiply by 2 to give you 3. And then you have for M25, also reduces by half. So you have 1 is to 1, multiply by 2 to give you 2. Okay, so this is how we calculate mix ratio in building construction. It's very, very important because I've seen examples in a site where I worked. I got there and I saw the laborers mixing 1 bag of cement, and they were supposed to they were supposed to mix for M20, but they were mixing wrongly. They were mixing 1 bag of cement with 4 headpans of sand and then 10 headpans of gravel. And I was like, no, it's wrong. It's very wrong. It can lead to serious problems in time to come. Okay, you're not going to get the strength of that structure. So to get those things right, you have to know this very, very well. You have to have this at your fingertips, so that when you go to site, you tell them for each bag of cement you are mixing. Like for M20, okay, I know I have 2 headpans in 1 bag of cement. I know, okay, this is constant. 2 headpans in 1 bag of cement, very important. And I have to use M20 for my residential construction. Okay, so if the ratio is 1:1.5:3, and this 1 represents 1 headpan, but now I have 2 headpans of cement in 1 bag. Okay, so I'm going to have 2, that's 1 bag of cement, mixed with 1.5 times 2, which is 3 headpans of sand, and then 3 times 2, which is 6 headpans of granite, which is coarse aggregate. So the normal thing should be 1 bag of cement mixed with 3 headpans of sand, and then 6 headpans of coarse aggregate. So this is how you know your mix ratio. Get handy with it because it's going to be very, very helpful in site. Thank you very much for seeing this video. You can like, you can comment on the comment section below.